Evening, people. It's been a while. It's been a while. Got my Jack Daniels Sunday night, Monday night. It's been a while since we've done one of these. This is needed, though, isn't it? This live is needed. So much is going on in boxing world that I can't keep just doing little 10-minute videos. We need to have a chat, a long chat for an hour. Good old chinwag, and then we can get things going. Let's, as we always do, let's first say hello to people that are in the room. Who's in? Who's this? Shin David. Ben looked good, but it's time to step up. Mikey Garcia or Danny Garcia should be next. We'll have a chat about that. Rooney AMUFC says, Yo, Ade, always great to see you on the big screen and the small screen. Of course, my laptop doing amazing. Appreciate that. I find it weird to even see me. Sai H, good evening, Ade, and everyone viewing. So good to get a live stream back on. I have really missed us all catching up to discuss boxing. Roll on the Fury versus White fight, going to be epic. It's going to be good, isn't it? It's going to be bloody. It's going to be incredible. Team Banchamek says, Yo, Ade, it's always a pleasant surprise every time I see you on the zone. Isn't it? It's a crazy journey. Anthony Vander, yes, Ade, been a while, bro. It has been, but we're back, people. We're back. Ricky Ellis, yo, Ade, I've always said Crawford beat Spence, and I still think that's the case. However, Spence's performance was unreal versus Ugas, 10 out of 10. And when you consider he had been out of the ring for 17 months, Spence ain't a joke. Spence is serious. Christopher Klaus, good evening, Ade. Very nice performance from Ben. Now it's time for a step up. I think Tyson White will be a slugfest. I think that as well, by the way. On both. Ben, step up, absolutely. And Tyson White will be a slugfest, absolutely. What face is that from? Is that a smiley face? I can't see what that is, but I hope it is. Punch Perfect Boxing, let's go. I just filmed with Punch Perfect now. Hopefully it's on his channel straight away. We spoke about Tyson Fury, Conor Benn. So if you haven't seen it, go to his channel and watch it. It's pretty cool. Hit the like, yes, hit the like button, please, folks. Hit the like button. Koyoshi, it's great to have you back for another live at it. It feels like we haven't done one for about a month. So I apologize, people. I do apologize. Mark McCoy says, good evening, Ade. Hope you had a wonderful bank holiday weekend. You know what? Busy. Obviously, DAZN yesterday, DAZN Saturday. What did I do yesterday? Yesterday, I was coming back from DAZN in Manchester. Done a few videos, went to go and see my sister. Yeah, it was all right. I'll name this account later. Evening. Lionel Kashila, yes, brother. How are you doing, Ade? I'm well. I am well. There's a lot of you in already. Carl B says, what's good? What's good indeed? Jimmy Cullen, even that I hope you're well. Great interview of Khan and Ben. You know what the thing is with that Khan one, yeah? First of all, I'm watching Eddie Hearn like ask Khan to come in the ring. And I'm thinking, why? Why are you asking Amir Khan to come in the ring? Like, why? But when he's in the ring, I've almost got to ask what's going on. So I'm asking like, Khan, what you doing in the ring? Like, are we trying to set something up here? And Amir Khan, to his credit, is like, no, I'm just here as a fan. No, he didn't want to be in the ring. And I think Eddie made a mistake by getting him in the ring. But I know what Eddie did when he tried to do that. But yeah, it's not a fight anyone wants to see, including myself. Romel says it's been a while, has been a while. Richard, how do you say that? Foul? Fowell? Foul. Hopefully I'm right. Can't wait for the big fight. Going to be a long week. It is going to be a long week. Did you see that they're doing the public workouts and you have to pay £12 to get in? £2 supposedly goes to charity, and the other £10 is like a voucher to get you food and drink at Box Park. So look, if you were going to go there and buy food, then it doesn't really matter. But for a lot of people, you just want to go there. You don't have to buy a ticket, but yeah, you have to buy a ticket for the public workout, which is tomorrow, 11:30, Box Park, Wembley. I shall be there. Ian Hamilton, evening, bro. Ben brings value for money. Simple as that. Roland Fury versus White. Yeah, Ben does kind of what you see is what you get with Ben, but we do need to step up now. We're going to talk about the step up. I think it should be Avanesian. I think Avanesian just makes sense for 100 different reasons, but we'll run through some of the options. Jake Jansen says, crazy how it took Spence. It's crazy how it took Spence to collect 3 belts in 5 years and took Canelo 10 months to collect 4 and Josh Taylor 2 years. Yeah, I think the thing with Spence though is that it was out for like in between those 5 years. Spence was probably out the ring for like 2.5 years. Think about it. He was out the ring for 17 months on Saturday, and before that, prior to the Danny Garcia fight, it was at the ring for a year. So that's probably why. Jake Jansen, Craig LUFC says, if people are saying David Avanesian is too big of a jump, surely they have to think Danny Garcia will KO him. Yeah, I think Danny Garcia is too big of a jump. Avanesian, I think, go for it. Peter Nesden says, morning, Addy from Shanghai. Jeez, morning indeed, brother. Broken Nose Boxing, hello, hello. Hope you're well, Ade. I am. I'm very well. Thank you very much, brother. Polo, even that I hope you're okay. I'm good. That's nice of people asking if I'm all right. Look, there's so many people. We're gonna read a few more, and then we're gonna start having a conversation. Darren Edwards, even that I keep up the great work, fella. Always enjoy your vids. Thank you very much. I like this. I like this a lot. Ninja's Rose, Crawford's brain beats Spence's brawn. Spence has a brain as well, but I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Look at this naughty one. Mr. Sugar. Alicia Baumgardner or Laura Woods. I'm not even going there. I'm not even going there because someone's going to clip this fucking shit up. We're not doing it. Guys, with regards to the super chats, you know how it works. If a super chat comes in, out of respect for the person that's put it super chat in, I will quickly scroll and read their question, but then we'll go back in order again. Super chat has come in from Finbar White. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Says, evening, 8. Glad you are well. Do you think Saturday will set up Fury versus AJ? That's if Fury beats White. I think Usyk versus AJ will get postponed till next year. No, Usyk AJ is definitely happening this year. Like 100% happens in July. Yeah, definitely. I don't know if it sets up a Fury AJ because I'd make Usyk favorite to beat AJ if I'm honest with you. Look, I think Dillian White's got a great chance. I was gonna say I wouldn't be shocked. I would be shocked if White wins, but I've got a strange feeling. Got a strange feeling. Tell you that now. Doesn't mean anything because I always get my predictions wrong, but yeah. But AJ Usyk's definitely happening this year, by the way. Jay says, has anyone noticed that Dillian White's videos are getting more views than Fury's? And also, there's not that many views overall, considering how big a fight this is meant to be. I think this fight, although this fight will do 94,000, I still don't know how many people are going to buy the pay-per-view for this fight. Like BT Sports, unfortunately, doesn't have the Sky Sports machine. Sky Sports, it would have been everywhere. It literally would have been flooded. You couldn't leave your house without knowing it's happening. With this, unless you follow boxing, you might not know. And I know that's crazy, but it's true. You might not know that this is going on this Saturday. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Sammy Pavley says, even that day, is Crawford versus Spence the most compelling fight to be made in boxing, without a shadow of a doubt? Nothing even comes close. I'm trying to think. Nothing comes close. Compelling. 2 unbeaten guys. 1 a freeweight world champion. Barely any damage on both. Do you know what I mean? It's not like they've both been through the mill. Obviously, Spence had these things outside the ring, but in terms of in the ring, both are fresh. People say Crawford's old. 34 is not old. 34 is not old if you look after yourself. Spence is 32. Undisputed. Jeez, mate. Fucking, that's an incredible fight. Stanley Redden says, from what I see on social media, at least 80% of people seem to pick Crawford over Spence. Why isn't it perceived as a 50-50 fight? I don't know why that is, by the way. I do think, I'm not quite sure. For me, it's a 50-50 fight. I'm a Crawford fan, so just based on that, I'll favor Crawford. But in terms of a matchup, I mean, Crawford hasn't fought anyone at 147 pounds like Errol Spence. Like, look at Errol Spence's resume at 147 is thick. Crawford's resume, I mean, it only got thick recently with Adam Porter into it. So for me, it's a 50-50 fight all day long. Oh, okay. Carl B's confirming what that picture was. It was a smiley face with a cowboy hat for our man Spence. Ah, I see. W. Fortney says, hey, Ade, hey, chat. W. Fortney, we're back, brother. We're back. We're not going anywhere anymore. G-Man Boxing. Salute to Ade. Spence versus Crawford. I would rather than AJ versus Fury or Usyk versus Fury. Yeah, there's like, it's so much the number one fight out there. It's scary. It really is. And look, they keep rolling the dice with it. They can't roll the dice anymore. It's just got to happen next. It has to happen next. They need to give Crawford whatever. You know, the only problem that I see with this fight, and I just said this actually on Punch Perfect's YouTube channel, is that it was difficult. We know they were talking last year. They were 100% talking last year, and they couldn't agree on a split. I don't know how they're going to agree on a split this year when Spence has now added another belt. See, if they couldn't agree on a split last time when Spence had 2, what are they going to do now that Spence has 3? And not just that, but now Spence can sell. Before it was a case of Spence needs a big B-side to sell. Ugas isn't a big B-side. There were 40,000 people there 2 days ago. 40,000. Crawford ain't doing those kind of numbers. So I think the negotiating table is going to be the one stumbling block. But apart from that, I think everything else should be fine. But I am a bit concerned about what happens when they get to the table and try and negotiate money. Bit concerned. What's this one? Sorry, I'm just going by order. I'm just getting back in order. Maya says, well, Guanade. Still feel like Ben hasn't had the standout domestic fight, although it might not make sense. I think a Mickinson or Congo will do. He's beat good names recently, but they're all past their best. Yeah, look, they are. You can't pretend. You know how far past the best they are is that I don't even expect to see Algieri fight again. Van Heerden will fight, but he shouldn't really. Granados will, but he shouldn't really. So everyone he's beaten is literally on their last legs. So I'm with you. We do need to see him in against someone young, someone with ambition, someone hungry. And although they might not be exciting fights, Mickinson, Congo, Echo Usman, he might need to do one of those. I don't think he'll go that far back. And no, that's not discrediting those guys. For me, Avanesian's the perfect fight. And Avanesian ain't no killer, you know. I think people are making out Avanesian's this guy that'll take your head off, maybe because of the Josh Kelly performance. Like, Ben Avanesian, for me, is a 50-50 fight. I think Ben brings a lot to the table. Avanesian is a European champion, and we've got to give him respect, but I think people need to maybe go back and watch Avanesian versus a Velasquez. Like, go and watch that fight. I mean, Velasquez is good, but again, he's not world level. We've seen when he went up, he got beat. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. Shin Davis says, Ade, do you actually think Tyson has lost the ability to box like he did against Vlad? Yes. 100% I do. I don't think you can abuse your body like the way Tyson Fury abused his body for 2-3 years and still have the legs that he did against Chisora second time round and Vladimir Klitschko. I just don't think that guy exists anymore. So, you know, when everyone said things like, he's transformed himself, oh my God, he's on the attack against Wilder, I almost feel like he almost has to be that way now. I don't think he can move away like he used to. Even when you go and watch the Otto Volin fight, like Tyson Fury now will slug it out. Don't get me wrong. Look, still a great boxer, a much better boxer than Dillian Whyte. But Tyson Fury will meet in the center of the ring and have a toe-to-toe match with you. That wasn't Tyson Fury in the past. Tyson Fury in the past was always on his toes, always moving, a lot lighter. I just think that the Tyson Fury we're seeing now, his legs have slowed. The damage has started to, I think, show itself. He gets hit a lot now. I think people forget that Tyson Fury gets hit. Like, I know they will always keep showing that, like Tom Schwartz, where he's moving away. That's not Tyson Fury against the elite. Against the top guys, he gets hit. So we'll see what Dillian Whyte can do, but I think his legs have slowed. Jimmy Cullen, tell my friends to subscribe to Ade. Get this boy up to 30,000. Be well deserved. We're close, man. We're only like 100 away. So please, if you haven't subscribed, please do. Sly H says, Conor Benn showed in that win that he's now at the next level of his career. No more gimme fights. He has to be in real fights now. Conor Benn's interesting because Conor Benn, prior to 18 months ago, I don't think many people had high expectations for Conor. Be brutally honest, I don't think people did. I think it was the Formella fight when he beat Formella, and because Formella had come off that points loss to Porter, so a comparison could be made. And then he started, cutting those promos, speaking Spanish, and was like, okay, there might be something there. Then he blew away Vargas. And so all of a sudden, the expectations for Conor have now gone like that. Whereas before we weren't quite sure. So I think those expectations, they have to start marrying up with opponents, and they're not quite there yet. Look, you mentioned, Eddie's been mentioning all week several names. Avanesian, he's mentioned a lot. Mikey, Danny, Broner, no chance. Did you see Broner at the Errol Spence fight? A drunk. Unfortunately, he's a drunk. He's finished. And what else did he mention? Kelbrook won't happen. Danny Garcia, absolutely no chance. PBC. Broner, no. So that leaves you with Mikey Garcia and Avanesian. I think it'll be one of those two. I would lean to Mikey, if I'm honest with you. Avanesian might be difficult, but I'll lean to Mikey. Charlie Carpenter, Tyson's looking more trim compared to the last Wilder fight. Could see him being just under 19 stone. No chance. How do you reckon he'll approach the fight? I think it'll be like the Wilder 2 fight. There's no way he's coming under 19 stone. No way. Tyson's weird in the sense that you think he's slim, and then he takes his top off and he's got that tire around his belly. He's still a very big man. I sat down with him for Talk Sport. When did I sit down with him? About a month ago, and he did look chiseled, but he still looked like he was carrying quite a lot of timber around the belly area. So he'll be around the 20 stone mark, trust me. I think Dillian White's going to be really big as well. Muscular, but I think he's heaviest. Maybe not as heavy as he was against Marius Vac, but it'll be quite heavy. Mark and Haley says, even that we'll meet one day and it'll be my honor. It'll be my honor as well. What's this one? Rampage Ryan says, Addy, did you hear Ronaldo's son had passed away? What? Oh, we'll look into that a bit later. If that's so, then look, prayers for the big man. That's horrible news. Horrible news. Jeez. Ex Dutino says, surprised by the reaction Khan got from the fans last night. Yeah, I was surprised. I saw it that night. Yeah, very, like, booing. Like, what's Khan done to get booed? I don't understand. I'm confused by that as well. He's been a fantastic servant for British boxing. But yeah, I don't get it. I never understand it, to be honest with you. I think Khan's a stand-up man. It's not like he went in the ring asking for a fight with Conor Benn as well. He was called into the ring. But look, fight fans will be fight fans, eh? Charlie Carpenter, we got that one already, didn't we? Have we done this one? Amari J Gaming, is that right? It says, even that great work recently. Carl Froch is so funny. He's my dad's friend and has that dry humor in real life. No, he does. Me and Carl actually shared a changing room. A changing room on Saturday, and just so many crazy stories. He's in great shape, by the way. Like 45 years old. He took his top off, and I was like, okay, he's in great shape. He said he's just below 14 stone. But yeah, he's funny. I think DAZN should keep him. I think it should always be, unless they're trying to get someone in that relates to a fight, I think it should always be Laurel Woods, Tony Bellew, Carl Froch. I think that's the team. I think it's a great free. Maya says, even a Brook fight before he steps up to an Avanesian, to me, makes sense. I don't know, man. Brook's kind of, Brook ain't no gimme, for Conor. Like, Brook, especially if they make the fight at 150. Brook's strong, big, confident, a better boxer than Conor, can hit as hard as Conor, maybe as fast, but got a better jab. That's a tough fight for Conor, that one. Mark McCoy says, how do you think Josh Taylor will get on with Spence? A boxers. Well, it's difficult, isn't it? Because in recent memory, we have how Josh looked against Jack Catterall, and how Josh will look against a monster in Errol. You'd have to say that Errol will break him in half. You'd have to say that to the body. Just too big, too strong. Too big, too strong. I repeat myself, too big, too strong. Bucks, Monday Castle, even that, keep up the good work. Thank you, Bucks. What's this one? What's that? Oh, Sylvestra. I was in Silvestri. Silvestri Alamo. I don't know what that means. 2011. Ade, salute. After all that, salute you too, brother. Salute you too. Dan C said, hi, Ade. Love your work. Always keeping it real. Mad few months in boxing. Bring it on. Mad few months. Honestly, mad few months. You think about what we've got coming up. So I fly out to America. Do you guys know this? I don't know if you know this, but if you don't, you know now. I fly out to America next week, Tuesday. I'm working on the Katie Taylor Serrano card. And then, so that's New York, Madison Square Garden. I mean, what the fuck is going on? And then I chill in New York for a couple of days. I'm smiling while saying it because it's a dream. I chill in New York, then I go to Vegas, and then I'm working on the Canelo card. Fucking hell. Fucking hell. Seems like Terrence versus Errol Spence may happen one day, hopefully soon. Next. It's going to happen next. Now that Errol called him out in the ring, Errol's never done that. Errol called him out in the ring. Terrence said something. Terrence should have been there. Like, Errol came to Terrence's last fight. I know Errol got up and left early, but Errol came. Terrence should have been there and stepped in the ring. I don't understand what's wrong with these people. Should have been there. Luke 111 says, hope you're good. Ade, man. Crawford versus Spence needs to happen now. That fight would be unreal. Gas for Fury-Whyte. Yeah, I'm really gas for Fury-Whyte. Can't wait for it. Shit undercard, but it doesn't matter. Remember, we're doing the live watch along of it. We're not going. We're going to do a live watch along, which should be fun. You know, I've been practicing my commentating. I'll be ready. I'll be ready. Sai H says, I don't think Eddie wants the Avanesian fight. Every interview he talks him down about how he's not a draw, etc. Sounds like he wants nothing to do with that fight. But you know what? You say that, but he always mentions him. Like when I spoke to Eddie ringside, Eddie, I didn't even bring up Avanesian. Eddie did. Eddie always brings up Avanesian, which tells me he does want that fight. Remember, it's not Eddie. The way it works, obviously, Conor Benn has his manager. So it's not Eddie. It's the manager that arranged it. Then Conor, obviously, Eddie will then do the final bits, but it's Conor Benn's manager that will sort this. And it's Conor Benn's team. It will then go to Eddie, and Eddie will then be like, not sure. So it's almost nothing to do with Eddie. So we'll see. We'll see what his team do. I think his team might want it. They might want it. We'll see. Let's hope he does. Stephen Ford said, hello, Ade. Ben regrets a bit not attending the British title. Should he take the time to collect that belt and the European? Ben did want to fight Chris Jenkins, who fought Florian Marcoux when Jenkins had a British title, but they didn't want that. I think so. I think he might regret not going that route. But look, right now, he's doing good numbers in the arena. He's number 5 on every governing body, which I think is a bit too much. But right now, he's winning. He's winning because all of a sudden, people want to fight him. He's making good money. He's in a good position. He's in a good position. It's just the next fight's key. The next fight's key. Leo Max says, yes, Ade, it was good to see you the other week on the train to Leeds. I met so many people. I'm trying to think who it was. Sorry, dude. My memory is shot. Met a lot of people recently. But yeah, it was good to meet you too. But I briefly remember it, but Jack Daniels, long nights, early mornings. Frankie Perry, you've been smashing it lately, Ade. Keep it up. Thank you, my man. Really appreciate that. Lion says, Ade, I was reading Spencer's body language and he's delivering what he said. I don't think he wants to fight. Oh, stop it. Stop. You were reading his body language. And what did you read? You read that he didn't want the fight. So he called him out. He swore, he said, give me that belt. Went on social media, want that fight. But your body reading expert, stop it. Stop it. Lionel Kashila, Ade, can't believe turn 30th next week, Tuesday. Time fly. Wait, let me read this correctly. Ade, can't believe turn 30th next week, Tuesday. Time few by learning new skills, new language. Are you saying that you turn 30 next week, Tuesday? If you do, happy birthday, my man. Honestly, happy birthday. Getting old, ain't we? Getting old. At least you're not 41 like me. So you've still got a lot. You've still got a lot of time to go. A super chat here from Reader145. Thank you very much. Says, what about the Wilder 1 fight then? And what are you saying about the Wilder 1 fight? Like Tyson Fury had good leg movement and was able to move. Is what you're saying? Send me another. Don't send a super chat. Just send a statement so I can understand what you're saying. Finbar White super chat says, Addy, what do you think of Campbell's son's win? Also, Hatton Campbell, Campbell Hatton. Sorry. Also, will Liverpool do the quadruple? Will you go to any of the finals? Keep smiling, Addy. FA Cup final, yes. In terms of Campbell Hatton's win, still not sure. Still not. I don't like. They just got to take it slow. But the problem is they put him really high up on the card. They've started this thing again where they put, like, before he kind of was in the shadows, that he kind of disappeared for a little while, smaller cards. Like there's a Barcelona card coming up. He should be on that card. Sorry, not Barcelona. It's a card in Bilbao. He should be on that card. I still think they need to build him away from the eyes because he gets a lot of stick. And hopefully mentally he's quite strong to deal with this because it can be quite brutal. There are improvements. I don't know if there's improvements enough to satisfy us thirsty fans, but there are improvements. But at the same time, he still looks very, very crude, doesn't he? He's going to get better, but I don't know if we the public, are going to give him time to get better, but we'll see. As for Liverpool doing the quadruple, Liverpool have got to win 11 games. Possible. Certainly possible. It's possible. It is. What's this one? Peter Nesden says, do you think anyone will get to ask a Kinahan question at the presser? Sorry for Frank if Kinahan is bankrolling it and the pay-per-view doesn't cover the cost. Yeah, people will ask 100% because on fight week you get, I don't mean to be rude to the YouTubers because that's what I am as well, but you get like proper journos, people that write for the Telegraph, the Guardian, the Sun, the Colin Hart types who will ask whatever they want to ask and you can't ban them. So they'll ask, where I guess the YouTubers are scared to ask because obviously you might just remove accreditation from them. But the journos will definitely ask 100%. El Boxio says Conor Benn ate a lot of counters in 2 rounds. He could get KO'd by someone decent. He could. Look, the thing with Conor Benn, I don't look at Conor Benn as one of these fighters that are going to remain unbeaten forever and ever. No, Conor Benn will lose. He's not, he's not a Crawford. He's not a Spence. He's not a Mayweather. He's not that, is he? So he's going to lose. So it wouldn't surprise me, but he still wants to be in big fights. So just give him the fights he wants. There's nothing wrong with losing. If you're losing to someone, as you say, someone decent, then at least let him lose to someone decent. I have no problem with him losing. And you're right, he did take a few counters. But Van Heerden's got good hands, Van Heerden's an experienced fighter, just an experienced fighter that's done. Slam Dunk Production says, I know you're busy with the zone and this channel, but just wondering if the MMA channel's scrapped now. Would love to hear you talk about what's going on in the UFC. You know how weird it is? Like, I still obviously watch a lot of UFC, but nothing like I did a year ago. Like I would say that I was watching the UFC or MMA as much as I was watching boxing. Not anymore. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I'm going to do any MMA related stuff on the channel. We'll see. Look, anything can happen. We'll see. A bit more about Cristiano's newborn son, which is very, very sad. Very sad. Laura Kavanagh says, I know it's happening, but 25, I think it's pounds. She's supposed to write that. I think that's a euro. Is that a euro sign? £25 for one fight really isn't worth it. I like the undercards. Sometimes those fights are better than the main event. Fury-Whyte is a one fight card. It is. Look, I think they're taking a piss with charging people to go into the public workout, but it was always going to be 25. They're trying to have to claw the money back from somewhere. I mean, they've spent a lot of money on this, a lot of money. They've overspent. Let's be honest. I mean, they've overspent, and they're trying to claw it back. Obviously, it's going to do good numbers with ticket sales, but yeah, I still think it will do a good pay-per-view buy. I still think it could do 5 to 600,000, which is a good number at 25 quid a pop. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. Nokia 3310. Do you think Fury made a mistake with no rematch clause? No. I want rematch clauses to be thrown away from boxing, thrown out. I think they're a disgrace. I think they're an absolute disgrace, rematch clauses. I hate them. So no, I don't think he did. He's betting on himself. I think once you, And look, but it wouldn't be Fury, by the way. It'd be his management team that would have decided this. But I think once you put a rematch clause in there, it almost shows for me that you're not as confident as you're professing to be. Does that make sense? Like you're just not sure. This is gonna sound so stupid. I squat quite a bit, and I see a lot of people put the safety bars there, and I see people putting the safety bars out, and that almost tells me that you're almost already expecting to fail or preparing to fail. And some people might say, "Yeah, you're just doing it just as a safety precaution." I don't have the safety bars there because I know once that weight is on my back, no matter what, I'm coming back up. It's risky. I'm not saying everyone should do it, but it's risky. And that for me is a rematch clause. You're just not sure about yourself. It's almost like you're giving that person that inch of confidence that they need. But without a rematch clause, you're saying, I don't need a rematch clause because I'm getting it done first time round. I hate them anyway. I don't think they should be allowed anymore. I think they should be banned, rematch clauses. I think they're a joke. Joe, super chat, really appreciate it. Joe says, is Ben domestic or European level to you? European. I think Ben's European. I think so. Could be wrong. I think he's European for me. Amari J Gaming says Conor beats Evan in a rematch. Don't know why he's so highly rated. Happy birthday, Lionel. It's my birthday on the 29th. Gonna be 10. Huh? Can't be. Love your show, Eddie. You're not no 10-year-old. I'm not having that. But thank you for the super chat. You can't be 10. Jay Jansen says, is McGregor and Usman actually going to happen? No chance. Usman would absolutely take his soul. Take his bloody soul. WM, what's good, brother? Super chat, really appreciate it. Says, I will not be surprised at all if White sleeps Fury. You've been saying this on Twitter for about a month. All 3 brutal Wilder fights where he was dropped heavily 4 times would have taken its toll. True, but we also can't remember that Povetkin dropped Dillian hard, and Fury at least got up. Dillian went to sleep. But I'm with you. I think there's been a lot of talk about this somehow being. It's weird how some people initially, when this fight was mentioned, were like, "Oh, easy fight for Fury." Now all of a sudden, and not you, because you've always been Dillian White, but a lot of people now starting to kind of warm to the fact that Dillian White could do some damage in this fight. Fury has taken a lot of punishment. Is Fury overlooking Dillian White? I'm not quite sure, but we'll find out in 5 days. Woo! 5 days time, we'll find out. What's this one? Simon. Hey, Ade, love your coverage of football over on 888. No, you're a Liverpool fan, but it's fine. Nobody's perfect. I am a Liverpool fan. It's the most important thing in my life. I'm not joking. Someone asked me the other day on Twitter, Ade, if Liverpool, what would you want more, AJ versus Fury or Liverpool to win the title? I was like, Liverpool to win. I'd rather have Liverpool beat Man United tomorrow than AJ versus Fury. Must be mad. Pellman says subscribe. Thank you, brother. Thank you very much. Michael Briggs says Fury has been hit well his whole career. Only Klitschko couldn't get near him. It's true. Fury does get tagged. His powers of recovery are just incredible. Just incredible. Like when he gets up, like when Fury gets knocked down, yeah, everyone else gets up and there's like wobbly legged. Fury gets up, and most times he goes on to win the round that he got knocked down at. I find these powers of recovery incredible. I really do. And he doesn't even look like an athlete. Like he's the most anti-athlete looking fitness guy I've ever met. Like he can go 12 rounds just like that. It makes no sense. Ramel, it does make sense actually because he wastes no energy in the ring. Like there's a lot of like Tony Bellew for Usyk, and Tony Bellew was like he was tired mentally more than physically, and I feel like Fury doesn't get tired mentally. That doesn't get like just he almost enjoys being in there, where others simply don't. Ramel says I wasn't as impressed with Conor Benn's performance this weekend as everyone. He demonstrated his power, but he was getting hit a lot. I think that could be very dangerous if he was to fight someone heavy-handed. I think if he were to fight someone heavy-handed, I think it'd be a bit more defensive. I think the thing is with some of these fighters, they take one and they're like, is that it? And it's almost like, okay, I'm going to run through you. I'm just going to run through you. And I'm not trying to give him excuses, but I think he felt that with Van Heerden, like, there is no power here at all. I'm going to run through you. And look, in the end, he got a second round stoppage. It's hard to it's hard to critique someone that blew someone out in 2 rounds. I think we're just trying to find things when really and truly the story should be Conor Benn destroyed someone in 2, if we're being honest. Django Skywalker. Ben needs to stop trying to avoid European level. Avanesian. Okay, I don't know if he's avoiding Avanesian. Batayev, good fighter. Very. You've mentioned someone. See these guys, yeah. Staninos, and Butayev. With those type of fighters, it's a risk reward thing. It's a risk reward. Like, what's the reward here? Because this is the problem. But okay, let's take the last one. Butayev, yeah. If Ben versus Butayev was to get announced tomorrow, be honest. What would people say online? What do you think they'll say? Do you think they'll say, "Oh, here we go"? They ain't gonna do that. I'm telling you now, and this is no disrespect to them, but no one knows who these guys are. And in boxing, unfortunately, nowadays, you need to have some sort of name value. Avanesian, I agree with you, but Batayev could possibly beat Ben, and no one knows who he is. No one knows who he is. So you don't fight a Batayev. You don't. I don't think so anyway. I just saw a super chat coming. I think, let me quickly read it out. Alexander Wilson, super chat, appreciate it. My man says the Fury-Whyte USA pay-per-view price is equivalent to £58. This is a week after we had to pay the same price for Spence Ugas. UKers have it easy. Yeah, you know what? The pay-per-view prices in America are just out. I just find them, must find them laughable. I don't know. I find, and you're gonna have to pay for Canelo Bivol, which is, ain't it like $100 or something? I just don't know, man. I find it crazy. I find it crazy. Darren in Sweden says, "What happened to CRB?" Well, you know what? CRB, I think, is here. I think it'll pop up in a minute. He'll be here. But we haven't done a live for ages, so it's difficult. Kevin Armstrong, Ade, what do you make of Stanionis? I think we just kind of spoke about him, didn't we? Look, clearly a good fight. I think you know what it is about fighters like this, yeah. And there's quite a few of them. You're not, unless they work the way up to like a mandatory shot at you, you're not fighting them. You're not fight. It's going to be very difficult for these guys to get an opportunity because everyone knows they're a problem. But again, guys, it goes back to that risk reward factor. Like, say Stanios had like this big following and it was big numbers, big money, you're gonna fight him. But he doesn't. So you're not gonna get that much to fight him. Why are you gonna do it? It's too risky. I hate sounding like a businessman in boxing now, but when you speak to the boxers, they tell you these type of things. It's almost too risky, unfortunately. What's this one? Young Revival says, "Yo, Addy, slightly off topic, but I remember I started watching you during lockdown 1 when you were doing those Today in Boxing videos. Often the only entertainment during the day. Love the progress." I remember those. Man. Shit, lockdown 1 was tough. Like, when you think of it, lockdown 1, I remember going out on the street, no one. I remember walking to Stratford Station, which is about 10 minutes from my house, to go to Talksport, which is in London Bridge, and I was the only one on the train. That's how scared people were of COVID. It was scary. It was scary. What's this one? Ade's handsome as fuck at 41. Damn right. Thank you. Who said this? Case de Leon. Send me a number. No, I'm joking. Joke. That was a joke. Lewis Taylor. Hi, Ade. Firstly, great work. Keep it up. Do you ever believe a fighter doesn't want a fight, or is it TV, money reasons, etc.? No. There's some fighters that certainly don't want to fight. 100%. Like, I used to think that as well. It's like, oh, no, all the fights would happen. It's only money. No. Some fighters don't want to fight some opponents. They're not silly. Like, some fighters look and think, I ain't fighting him. Fact. Or I ain't fighting her. 100%. So fighters are ducking. Fighters are 100% ducking. Obviously, look, TV and money come into things, but sometimes, you hear the rumors about what they did in sparring. You know what they can do. They don't want it. They don't want it. I didn't watch this, I was supposed to go to this. Let me quickly read it out. Ade, did you watch the English title fight on IFL TV at York Hall on Friday? Fight of the year contender. The 8th round was something else. So I was supposed to go there with Tony Bellew. But I just couldn't be asked to drive all the way back from Manchester to go and watch it. And I haven't actually watched the card, but everyone's saying it's a great fight. I might have to watch it. We'll see. Ryan Hutchinson says, yo, Ade, how you doing, bro? Hope all is well. Thank you, Ryan. What's this one? Kevin Armstrong said, had 40 on Spence points. Was Beeling when it was stopped. Yeah, look, it almost became painful to watch. I think reports are that he's broken his orbital bone as well. Like, Jesus, man. Oh shit! I know who this is now. Leo Mack. I saw you on the way to the weigh-in of Warrington Martinez. My name is Nathan. We spoke about Liverpool and boxing. I remember you, dude. Apologies. Now I remember. Great to see you. Great to see you. G-Man Boxing says Hatton can't fight, in my opinion. KO in waiting. See, the problem they've got with Hatton is that he's such a big name. They're going to have to match him seriously soon. Like, you get to 10-0. I think you can do the kind of fights he's been having now up until 10-0, 11, 12-0. Once you get to 12-0, you're going to have a fight with someone, like a real fight, area level, whatever. Someone that's got a winning record. And that's when, unfortunately, I think he gets beaten. And I say unfortunately because he's a nice kid. You see him around. He's just a nice kid that wants to try and emulate his father, wants to make his father proud, wants to do something. And it must be so weird to do that in front of millions of people and get critiqued and this and that. But look, it's the brutal game of boxing. And I'm with you, G-Man. I think it's going to happen. It's going to get beat. And when he does, yeah, it might be a painful one as well. Malamute says, in the words of Naz, as in Prince Nassim Hamed, I think Campbell Hatton should finish. I'm so shocked that DAZN or someone hasn't got Prince Nassim Hamed. Like, what are they doing? Get him on. Get him on. What's this one? Chris Bill Mears Smith looks tidy. Is that Chris Billum Smith you're referring to? If that is, I think it is, then yeah, he did look good, didn't he? Big and strong at the weight. Let's see what he can do when he takes a step up. What's this one? Randy Orton says, what could potentially change in boxing as USA government and police look more closely into Daniel Kinnan's ties in boxing? Nothing. Nothing. Boxing was built by the mob in America, by the mob. Like, hasn't Don King gone to jail for murder? And like, even when he came out of jail, 10 years later, he was the biggest promoter probably in the history of the sport. Come on, man. Nothing's going to change. The only thing is, obviously, it depends if he's pumped money into certain organizations in America. Like that affiliation with Bob Arum and Top Rank. Like, what's that about? But I'd be shocked. I'd be shocked if everyone just doesn't quickly sever ties and move on. Like, boxing's fucking the wild, wild west. Lion says, Ade, do not be surprised if the Spence-Crawford fight doesn't happen. No, I will be surprised. I will be surprised because that's happened. Don't jinx it. Big Short Mike 87 says, put Ben in there with Jaron Boots Ennis, both for the same age. Are you trying to kill him? Not yet. No, not yet. Not yet. Not yet. Like, let's just see. Like, again, a year and a half ago, no one expected nothing from Ben. He's put together a good run of 5 wins. 4, 5. Formella, Vargas, Granat. 5 wins. Let's let him just go to that next level now. I'm not even trying to make him go to see anyone in the top 8 or 9. I'm asking for between 9 and 15 next. But I'm not trying to get him killed. Like, Jaron Ennis is a real deal. Some people think Jaron Ennis is top 3 welterweight. Top 3. So no, I don't know about that. Todd Boyd. I don't know why, but I see no other outcome than a White TKO over Fury this weekend. The whole build-up seems to be leading to an upset. Something's going to happen. Something is going to happen. Innit? Like, this ain't going to be no one-sided beatdown. Something's going to happen. Randy Orton says, thoughts on Eddie and Conor inviting Khan into the ring. It wasn't Conor. I was right there, so I was seeing it happen as it was going on. It was definitely Eddie. Conor was actually saying something to his wife or taking photos with his belt. So Conor didn't see when Eddie asked Khan. And then it became too late because Khan is then making his way in the ring. And Conor then looks at Khan and sees he's in the ring. And then, silly. It was silly, wasn't it? I don't think Khan needed to be there. If that was Brooke, makes sense. Mikey makes sense. Danny makes sense. Khan, who I don't think is going to look, Khan will have one more fight, and I think it'll be a Floyd Mayweather exhibition fight. That's it. I can't see him having a real fight ever again. So, yeah, silly. Mark and Hell says, David Adelaide versus Johnny Fisher, 2 domestic names, both fought several journeymen. What do you feel about the pair going at it for a Southern area title? Should happen, won't happen. I saw David Adelaide. He was there on Saturday. He's a lump. And it's weird because he's not as big as the others, but he's still tall and big. Won't happen. Won't happen at all. I think, and this is how crazy boxing is. It should happen, but it won't. I wouldn't be surprised if both of them don't even fight for a Southern area and go this crazy WBA international continental route. That wouldn't shock me at all. Don't be surprised if that happens. Guys, there's so many questions. I'm quickly just going to the super chat first, and then I'm going to come back. A lot of you are clearly, like me, bored on a Monday. Joe, a super chat. Appreciate it. Joe says, this too risky businessman. Skills should be rated over privilege. Ben doesn't need to fight domestic or European level on name alone, but better fighters have to risk it all to get anywhere. Sad. Yeah. That is, in that sense, it is quite sad. It's not just on name alone, though. Even if Conor Benn didn't have the name, but was doing what Conor Benn does, which is sell at the moment 6,000 to 7,000 tickets, I think you then build those guys more slowly. It's just how it works in boxing. It's not just a Ben thing, and we know this. It isn't. I don't even think Eddie realized that he had something on his hands when it comes to Ben. I think Eddie was giving him opportunities, almost a bit like he's giving Campbell Hatton opportunities now. And then all of a sudden, he done the Formella fight. He then done that promo against Vargas where he started speaking Spanish. And I think even Eddie was like, whoa, we might have something here. Let's pump the brakes on the matchups. So look, it won't last. It won't last. There is going to be a time when they have to chuck him in with someone. I think that's going to be next. And then we'll see. We don't have too long to wait to find out if Ben's the real deal or if he's just been matched so carefully to make him look good. We'll find out, I think, in the next 1 or 2 fights. So not long to wait to see if the hype is real or if it is just hype. What's this one? Ada12 says, Conor Benn is a European level fighter. He will get found out if he steps up to world level. Yeah, I don't know if anyone's saying he's not a European level fighter. I think everyone knows that. Where are we? John Cahill says, what did you make of Baumgartner's performance and chances against Maia? I would make Michaela Maia a favorite against Baumgartner. Michaela Maia's done it against better opposition. I wasn't impressed with Baumgartner's performance, just brutally honest. I did a video about it yesterday, saying that for me, she looked a bit too comfortable. Like when she came in there against Terry Harper, she had venom in her eyes. Like she wanted to kill. It almost looked like she wanted to kill Terry Harper. Like angry. Started saying things in the ring to her. She was just so laid back against Matisse. And I just didn't like it. There was times when I thought she could have stepped up another level. Didn't do it. Michaela Maia is a lot bigger than her. Naturally height and natural size. And Michaela Maia always fights with mean intention. She wants to hurt you. And I felt Baumgartner was the same, but after weekend's performance, I'm not quite sure that's the case. So I'd make Baumgartner a favorite. Jake Jansen says, I think people forget how much damage White's left hand has done to his opponents. Nobody dropped Povetkin, Chisora, Parker. If he hits Fury, it'll be interesting. Good shout. Good shout. And the way in which he dropped Chisora, don't get me wrong, look, Chisora's, Chisora at this stage, and even at the stage when White fought him, is nothing more than a gatekeeper. But that punch that cleaned out Chisora, and you're right, it hurt Joseph Parker, hurt Povetkin numerous times. It can hit. That left hook can hurt you. So we'll see. Sorry, Miss Quitty Gun. Not a lot of buzz for supposedly the best heavyweight in the world today, but still can't wait for this on Fury versus White. Not a lot of buzz. I think there is. I think there is buzz for it. I think so. I just think that we've had a lot of fights recently. Like normally, what happens is you don't normally have big fights back to back to back to back. We literally have had big fights back to back. So we're only just about getting down off the high from Spence Ugas and even Lee Wood, Michael Conlon, and then Josh Warrington. And all of a sudden now, bang, another big one. So I think it's a case of we're just having to like breathe and then let's go again. I think from tomorrow, it all builds up. And I think we're going to get some hype. Dillian White, I think, flies in. Sorry, he's already in the country. So I think from tomorrow, it will start to build up. I think all the public workout stuff and then the interviews, we might even see them, meet each other or go past each other tomorrow. Their camps will go past each other. John Fury interviews, Dean White, Shane Fury. I think, it's a big shame that Eddie isn't part of Team Dillian White, because it would have been good to see him and Frank have words. But yeah, regardless, I'm excited for it. I think it's fantastic. I think it's fantastic. All right, let's quickly read this super chat. Kyoshi, should Gamboa call it a day now? It's hard to watch him against Cruz. Also, what do you think of Isaac Cruz versus Ryan Garcia? Yeah, Gamboa should definitely call it a day. What is he now, 40? Yeah, yeah, definitely. And it's mad to think, yeah, there was a time about 10 years ago, so I'm going way back here. Maybe not that long. 7 years ago, maybe, where Gamboa was considered the shit, like everyone was higher on Gamboa. And now, obviously, I think he had a little ban, didn't he, for steroid use or something? I can't remember, but there was definitely question marks around him. And now he's just had his time. He's had his time. Isaac Cruz versus Ryan's interesting because Isaac's going to bring the pressure and the heat. And this will determine how good Ryan is with his hands and his feet. Because Isaac Cruz won't let him breathe. Didn't let Gervonta Davis breathe. Won't let Ryan breathe. Ryan's got a lot faster hands than Gervonta, but doesn't have the power that Gervonta has. Great matchup. Let's see if it happens. Great matchup. All right, guys. I feel sorry for everyone that's sending questions. There's so many. All right, I'm trying to get back into some sort of order here. I'm way off. Jesus, so many blood. That's all right. I think we're back in order here. Ben Furman, I'd like to see. Ben ain't ready for Keith Furman. Not yet. Come on. He's not. Come on. No. No chance. Chin Checker 78. I love that name. Conor has painted himself into a corner. It's Avanesian next or bust. Oh, calm down or bust. All right. What happens if it's not Avanesian? So everyone just leaves the room. It's not Avanesian or bust. Ideally, it's Avanesian, but there are other names in the 147 pounds that can be an interesting fight. Loads of other names. The signature says, I find UFC has more exciting fights than boxing. Also has a higher number of stars too. No, it doesn't. UFC there's no way in today's UFC that has more stars than boxing. No way. Like, if you were to have said this, and trust me, I'm a big UFC fan, so I know all the UFC fights. If you were to have said this 18 months ago, when Conor was still around and John Jones was still fighting, Khabib was there, okay, 100%. Now, no way. No way. Who are the big stars? No, I'm not having that. Not having that. Not having that at all. And even when you think about it, with with Amanda Nunes losing. I know there's going to be a rematch, but they don't have the big stars. They really don't. Hassan Ahmed says, how will Frank make any money doing 600,000 buys? Because that's 600,000 UK buys. Obviously, it's going to be on US pay-per-view as well. The international rights have been sold, commercial sponsors. You make that money back. Trust me, you'll make that money back. What's this? What's this one? 1-2 travel 2-1. Safety bars are worthwhile. Someone died at Larry Wills' gym, tried benching with no spotter safety bar, and bar ended up choking him to death. Fucking hell. Yeah, but those people try and do silly weights. I ain't that kind of guy. I ain't that guy at all. Usman versus Chimaev predictions. Usman to win. Chimaev's good, but he's no Kamaru Usman. Nigerian power all the way. Jean Anthony Perrott says, can I ask, do you think the zone rejection to attend Dillian Whyte versus Tyson Fury will affect future co-promotion media coverage? Don't know. I'm disappointed because I genuinely thought the zone were going to be there. Not sure. It's a good question. It's a difficult one to answer. I mean, Sky are going to be there. I think Sky are not showing it, but they'll have people there, like, reporters there. So I think it's maybe upsetting that the zone at least don't have a reporter there. This is the biggest British heavyweight fight maybe ever. And you're a boxing platform and you don't even have a reporter there giving updates. Fucking hell, mate. Ade, any update on a date and venue for Usyk Joshua 2? The rumors, or the murmurings, on Saturday were July, Saudi Arabia. The murmurings. Don't know if that's a rubber stamped, but I do think it will be July. And if I was to gun to the head, I'll say Saudi. W. Fortney says, how much money does Fury versus White have to lose before Frank? Fucking hell. Oh, God. It's not funny, Ade. How much money does Fury versus White have to lose before Frank gets shot again? Your 600,000 pay-per-views is well short of Frank's hopes. Ain't doing $1 million. Tell you that now. If Frank thinks it's doing $1 million without the Sky Sports machine, ain't doing it. Ain't doing it at all. Shin Dave, what do you think of all this Fury retirement talk? Is it just a way to gain more leverage for undisputed fight? I was there. I sat right next to Tyson Fury when someone asked him about, what next, and he said retirement. He said it as a joke. I was there. But then when you write it, so the journalist that asked him was writing it and said, oh, Fury said he's going to retire. But if it was a video, you would have just seen that he was laughing. Fury ain't retiring. Too much money on the table for Fury to retire. Too much money. Bump of K. Tyson has height and reach advantage, stamina advantage, better feet, better toughness. I can't see how anyone is picking White other than Faith. Well, if it's that easy, it should be over in a round then. Boxing doesn't work like that, my man. Boxing does not work like that at all. Anything could happen. Fury had all those things over Otto Volin. He got a cut and it was drama. Anything can happen. Trust me. And one thing you didn't put in there is punch power. Who has more punch power, Fury or White? White. And this is boxing. You add that in, it gets a bit more interesting. If Fury gets tagged by Dillian Whyte after all the times he's been tagged by Deontay Wilder, you never know. You never know. And as for toughness, I mean, White's tough, White. Look, I'm trying to make an argument for White here. I think Fury's going to win this one, but I don't think it's as simple as the way you've laid it out there. But I do think Fury's going to win. I do. All right, guys, another 10 more minutes. Actually, it could be longer. Hold on 1 second. I'm supposed to go somewhere. If that person doesn't respond to me, then I might as well just stay on. And they have responded. Yeah, fuck it. We can stand for another 10. What's this one? A super chat from Alexander Wilson says the Mayweather channel asked the pros like Shakur who would win Fury-Whyte. They all said Fury because he's too smart. Smart boxers rarely lose. True. I agree. Like Fury is incredible. I've backed against Fury 3 times. Wait, 3? Yeah, no. Yeah, 3 times. Klitschko, Deontay Wilder the first fight, and Deontay Wilder the second fight. Because I thought, oh, Deontay Wilder didn't take him seriously. I'm never backing against him again. Never backing against him again. I don't care who he fights. He's different. Mark in Hells says, I see AJ getting put to bed in the rematch. No comment. No comment. All right, let's see. This crazy. This crazy talk. Ryan Garcia KO's Cruz in a couple of rounds. Crazy talk. Not for me. Not for me. Mohammed Mia says, Ade, keep up the great work. You reckon there are no more pay-per-view fighters after the UK heavyweights? Maybe why they're keeping Ben on a slow burn. No more pay-per-view fighters. Who else out there is a pay-per-view fighter other than the heavyweights? Okoli, no. Boatsi, no. I'm getting the divisions in my head. Light heavyweight. I think, and don't shoot me down, I think Boatsi Yard could be pay-per-view. So I'm not trying to say either of them are a pay-per-view fighter, but I think combined, I think that could be a pay-per-view fight. I don't want it to be. I'm just saying. I'm just thinking. Super middle. Fuck me. Super middle's no one there. There's Zach Parker, LaRon Richards. I'm not laughing. I'm just thinking in terms of pay-per-view. They're not that. Middleweight. Are Sky going to try and chuck Eubank Brook as a pay-per-view? Probably. But you're right. You are correct, sir. You are correct. There aren't that many. There aren't that many. If Josh Warrington and Lee Wood were on Sky, would Sky try and make that a pay-per-view fight, do you think? What do you think? Yeah. Karma Serene, the lovely Karma, who I saw was at the Errol Spence, Terence Crawford fight. Cruz is all wrong for Ryan. I think so as well. I think that aggression, and he's got a bit of punch power, is that Cruz as well. I don't know, man. I think there's a problem. Geez, look at this one. Look at this guy. Conman Ben is avoiding Avanesian to fight washed boxers. Jesus. What makes him a con man? Reese Cooper. Watching Spence versus Ugas made me sway in favor of Crawford in that fight. That's interesting because everyone else that's watched that fight is now like swayed towards Errol Spence. I don't know, man. Look, this is what makes it such an incredible fight. Incredible fight. I'm with Crawford. I'm fully team Crawford. Like Crawford's one of my favorite fighters. Like my list of favorite fighters right now. GG, like fighters that I feel like I've got an investment with. GGG, Lomachenko, Crawford, AJ. I feel like when they fight, I can't take it. Like emotionally, I'm an emotional wreck. I feel sorry for Lomachenko. So obviously, what's going on in Ukraine? He would have gone to Australia and beaten Kambosos. No doubt about it. Reese Cooper says, I can sit and watch the majority of a boxing card. I struggle to watch the whole UFC cards. I like them both for what they are, but sometimes the UFC is a bit both like boxing and MMA are a bit like that sometimes, aren't they? Ade is so biased. Who have I been biased at? Who are you talking about? Ben? Jedi Knight, I want you to you better do this. Leave a comment and I will 100% find it. And I want you to tell me why I'm biased. Please. Oh, that one. Oh, this one. Is it because of that? Kamaru Usman wins because he's Nigerian. Of course. No. Kamaru Usman doesn't win because he's Nigerian. Well, number one, that. But he wins because he's on an incredible run right now. And Khamzat, we saw against Gilbert Burns. Look, it's quite simple. Go and watch how Kamaru beat Gilbert Burns. Go and watch how Khamzat fought him. Khamzat is fantastic. I love him. He's great. But like Kamaru Usman is, we're potentially talking about the greatest welterweight we've ever seen in the UFC. Eclipsing the great George St. Pierre. That's how good he is. And he would have gone up to middleweight if it wasn't for his brother Israel Adesanya being there. And look, Khamzat's biggest thing as well. I think Khamzat's a better striker, but Khamzat's biggest thing is ragdolling you, getting you on the floor, wrestling you. He ain't out wrestling Kamaru Usman. Ain't happening. Ain't happening. All right, Frank thinks this fight will do 1.5 million. I need to get someone what Frank's smoking. Anyone know what Frank's smoking? I need some of that shit. This fight ain't doing 1.5 million. No chance. No chance. All right, guys and girls, last 5 minutes. Last 5 minutes. Boxing says, aren't TalkSport going to be there? Don't you work for them on the boxing side? They should choose you on commentary. No, I think the team they've got, to be fair, is good. So the problem with TalkSport was TalkSport asked me to actually do some stuff for them on the night, but I said, no, I'm doing something for DAZN. And then DAZN said, we're not doing it anymore. And then I said, TalkSport, I'm available. And they said, oh, we've already got our team. So I think TalkSport have actually got a good team. I think it's Gareth A. Davis, Adam Cattrall, Andy Clark, one of the best commentators in the business. I think they got Ben Davison. I think they tried for AJ, Tony Bellew. I think Chisora would have been the best guest for them. Chisora's fought Dillian Whyte twice, fought Tyson Fury twice. But yeah, that's the team that TalkSport are going with. All right, let me see what else I can quickly read out. Lee Johnson's Boatsy Yard. How many buys? Not a lot. Not a lot, let's be honest. Not a lot. Don't know. Not a lot. What is this? Lucan. Ade has suddenly jumped ship to the Fury fanboy club. Lucan, are you 15 years old and younger? Like, are you not allowed in boxing anymore? That fucking fanboy thing, yeah, needs to be eradicated from like the boxing dictionary. I can't stand it. It's almost like you can't give a boxer too much love or you're a fanboy. Like Tyson Fury is the lineal heavyweight champion, the number one heavyweight on the planet. He deserves his respect. But there is no fanboying. Like if you want to accuse me of being a fanboy of anyone, I'd rather you say Ade is an AJ fanboy. Or like, anyway, Lucan, sort yourself out. Sort yourself out, mate. What's this? Chiar Sip says, openly saying that you're not fighting Avanesian because of TV and ticket numbers is con man behavior. No. Okay, understand what Eddie's doing there. See, I think people have read this wrong. Eddie's not saying that because of we're not fighting Avanesian because of ticket and TV. What Eddie's basically trying to insinuate is, all right, there's 2 million in the pot. Your ticket numbers and your TV numbers mean you're going to get 200,000. Do you want the fight or not? That's what's going on behind the scenes. I think people need to maybe read into this stuff a bit more when it comes to Eddie and how he's talking. Like, Conor Benn isn't scared of Avanesian. I'll tell you that now. I've spoken to Conor Benn in private. We've obviously done our little sit down. I've interviewed him numerous occasions. I'm telling you also now, and this is, again, maybe I shouldn't be sharing this, but, me and Eddie and the team speaking, but they're not scared of Avanesian. So when Eddie's talking about ticket sales, understand he's doing it from a promoter standpoint, saying, okay, if you want the fight, you're going to get 10%. So maybe that's not good, but that's what he's doing. He's trying to say Conor Benn does 7,000 to 8,000 tickets. He does these kind of numbers. You're doing 500 tickets. If you want the fight, you're going to get 10%. That's what he's doing. He's not avoiding it. He's not scared of fucking... Conor Benn is not scared of Avanesian. Trust me, people. I'm not saying Conor Benn won't lose to Avanesian. I'm saying Conor Benn isn't scared of Avanesian. We need to stop making out Avanesian like he's fucking Errol or Terrence. He's a good fighter, but Conor Benn's not scared of him. Hope that answered it. Super chat from the Big Ben Odom says, who do you think will have the most supporters in the stadium? Fury. I think Fury. Are we talking Fury-Whyte here, Ben? If we are, I think Fury. I think he's actually got a bigger fan base. But I also think there's a lot of neutrals going to this fight. Like normally with fights like this, like for example, Josh Warrington fight, 95% will be Warrington fans. And Lee Wood fight, 95, Ricky Hatton back in the day, etc., etc. AJ fight. I think there are a lot of just boxing neutrals going to this. And I think people have started to warm to Dillian Whyte for some reason. I think people have understood why he might have been a bit silent. I think people have started to like, okay, interesting. So yeah, I think Fury. I think it'll probably be like a 70-30 split. 2 secs. Good question from Leo Mack. Says, do you reckon AJ will be at ringside or in training for Usyk? AJ, will AJ be there? Has AJ been at any of Tyson Fury or Dillian Whyte fights? He's been at Dillian Whyte. He was at Dillian Whyte Povetkin, wasn't he? When Povetkin slept White, it was there for that. I think he'll be there. I think it makes. Does it even make sense for him to be there as a fan? Yes, but it's not like he's going to get in the ring and to go face to face with the winner. He's got his own fight to deal with, but I think he'll be there. Back to this Khamzat Usman thing. I don't mind Khamzat's chances. Usman turns 35 in a few weeks. Again, guys, look, I think we need to recondition our brains as to the age thing. When we were young as kids, I don't know how old you are, SB Mills. When I was a young man, remember I used to look at my uncles who were 40, 41, and I used to look at them thinking, geez, like, my God, 40's old. Now I'm 40, I'm as fit as a fiddle. I'm quite fit. I'm in good shape. These athletes are different now. All the dietitians, the foods to eat, the strength and conditioning. Just rather than think of Usman's age, watch Usman fight. Does Usman look like someone that's deteriorating? This guy just went 5 rounds with Kobe Covington, who mauled Jorge Masvidal to bits. He knocked out Masvidal, put fucking Gilbert Burns to sleep. He's not a 35-year-old like we think of a 35-year-old. Avi Scholes, Ade, have you seen the Billy Joe Saunders picture? I have. I don't put too much stock into Billy Joe right now. All right, guys. Literally, I know I keep saying 5 minutes, but we got 5 minutes. Honestly, 5 minutes. We're going to remember, we're doing the live watch along of Fury versus Whyte from the studio. We're going to try and do it Joe Rogan-esque, where I have a guest over there. I've got my video guy over there. We've got the film on and the TV behind us. So I'm looking forward to it. Let me quickly answer this one. Gene Perrott says, what's your thoughts on Sky Sports and Boxer current model? Also, Ben Shalom, current boxing stable. Boxing stable is a bit thin, but it's getting bigger. Definitely getting bigger. Credit to what Sky are doing. You've got to applaud them. I thought they were done. When Matchroom left, I thought that was it. All of a sudden, they're still realizing they've got a lot of life left in them. Chas Chili says, driving in the 100-degree Arizona heat, listening to Ade live, you lucky motherfucker. To be fair, though, it ain't that cold here. I think we're starting to get some good weather here as well. So, yeah. All right, guys, I think I need to shoot. So many questions. You know what? Should we do another live Tuesday, Wednesday? Can we do a live on Wednesday evening? We'll do another live on Wednesday evening. We're going to do another live on Wednesday evening because I feel like I've only answered about 150 questions and that ain't enough. Okay, wait. Let me. I saw something just very interesting. This one. Koyoshi, Ade, do you know if Hennessy Promotions are getting a new TV deal? All of their fighters have been on standby since their Channel 5 deal ended. I feel sorry for them. So do I. And this is why I mentioned Isaac Chamberlain the other day. I mentioned Isaac Chamberlain should fight Jordan Thompson. And some people might think if it's a backward step for Isaac. It's just that people are forgetting Isaac because we haven't seen him, because he's on Channel 5 and not many people have been tuning in. I don't know, man. I don't think Mick will get another deal, if I'm honest with you. I think Mick might have to get in bed with a Probellum, a boxer. Yeah, that might be a good idea to take that stable that he's got to Sky, because I think Sky stable needs thickening a little bit. But look, there are so many different broadcasters now, so yeah, some of them could even go onto MTK, whatever they can do. All right, guys. Shit, I wish I could do a bit more. I wish I could do a bit longer, but I've got to go. I've got to go. I said to someone I'll be there at 9. Proper, they call this black people time. I can say it because I'm black. Guys, peace and love.